Namaste. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel Food for Thought. My name is Abhishek Ganguly and I am a political enthusiast. Today we are going to discuss whether NEET and JEE should be held in this pandemic or not. We will look into this through three key points. One, how is coronavirus spreading in India? Two, what are the precautions that Government of India has announced to carry out these exams? And three, what are the arguments which are in favor of postponing the exams and which are against postponing these exams? If you like my content, please give it a thumbs up, do subscribe below and click on the bell icon. Now we come to the first point. How widespread is coronavirus in India? You can see a chart in front of you which shows you the R value of India. Now what is this R value? This R value is the reproduction rate of the virus, or how many people are infected by one infected person. And less than 1, when the R value is less than 1, it means the virus spread is decreasing. You can see in the third week of July it was 1.2 and then gradually it came down to the fourth week of August to 1.05. However, we need to note one point here. The R value is calculated based on the recorded cases, the cases which have come to light through testing or through hospitals. Now, we know a sero survey was conducted. In the sero survey, what happens is few random people are selected across cities, mainly Delhi, Mumbai and Pune. This was done, and their blood is taken and they are tested for COVID antibodies. If they have COVID antibodies, that means they have come in contact with the virus. From the sero survey of Maharashtra, it has been found out that 40% of Mumbaikars have already been exposed to COVID and 51.5% of Puneites have already been contacted with the COVID-19 and they have shown antibodies. Mumbai's population is 2 crores. The reported number of cases is 1.4 lakhs and 40% of 2 crores is 80 lakhs. So it's possible that although we have reported 1.4 lakhs, the actual cases were much higher, close to 80 lakhs. This means the R value is not a very good indicator because the calculation is very difficult. Now, we see an argument put forth by many individuals that cases in India is peaking now because we have 75,000 plus cases. Is this actually true? You can see the graph of US cases, US daily cases, and US is actually 2 months ahead of India. So in this chart you can see in mid-March it was 400. The number of COVID positive cases in the US was 400. Then it peaked in end of April with 35,000 daily cases. Till mid of June the cases came down. So people thought that US has already peaked with 35,000 cases in end of April. However, end of July the cases again picked up and it peaked till 75,000. This means after one peak is over, there's no guarantee that COVID spread will slow down. Another peak came up in US in end of July. So we cannot say for sure that with these 75,000 cases in India we are peaking. I don't want this, but there is a possibility that with increased testing in January, India might have 3 lakh cases per day. We all don't want that, but that's still a possibility. So the point that I'm trying to make here is it's not possible to predict when COVID is peaking or if the growth is slowing in any country or not. COVID is very difficult to contain or control. In the second part of the video, we would discuss the measures that Government of India has said it will take so that the COVID spread is minimized during these exams. The first thing that they have said is the JEE centers will be increased from 570 to 660 and the NEET centers will be increased from 2546 to 3843. That's a 50% increase in the centers of NEET. Also, they have said that the number of students in one room will be reduced to 12 from 24. So the number of students in one room will be actually halved, and that means the social distancing and distance between two students can be increased, but we are not sure if that is enough or not. So now we come to the third thing that Government of India said that they will put up as precaution, that is separate isolation rooms for students whose temperatures will be more than 99.4 degree Fahrenheit. These are the primary measures that Government of India has said they will take. Now we come to the third and the final part of the video, wherein we discuss the arguments that are in favor of postponing these exams and arguments which are against postponing these exams. The arguments that are in favor of postponing these exams are, firstly, India has been receiving significant rainfalls and states like Bihar, Assam and Gujarat have been flooded completely. Now, we have only 7 JEE centers in Bihar. Let's take Bihar as an example. A rural student has to travel almost 150 kilometers in a worst case scenario to reach any one of these 7 centers. Now, how will he travel? Firstly, floods. Secondly, the public transport has been completely ravaged by the COVID-19. So it's very difficult for someone in the remote corners of the villages to travel. However, this works in favor of the students who are in the cities or who are near urban clusters. They have to travel less and they can easily reach the centers. This is the first argument which is in favor of postponing the exams. The second argument is, what about crowding? Exams cause not only students but also parents to travel with their kids. Now everyone flocks at the exam centers, and although during the exam social distancing could be somehow monitored, but after the exams everyone will come out, they'll speak to their parents, and huge crowds are places where COVID spreads rapidly. So the concern of COVID-19 spreading rapidly also works against, and also it works in favor of actually not having these exams now. Now we come to the arguments which are in favor of having the exams now, which say we should have the exams. Now here we see that many eminent IIT professors and other professors have written to Prime Minister Modi, 150 of them have written, that if we delay the exams further, it would mean one full academic year loss. In the first part of the video, we saw that COVID cannot be predicted. We cannot say that yes, India is peaking now. This means there's a possibility if we delay the exams and we hold it in January, India can have 3 lakh cases now with increased testing. So since we cannot predict COVID, till when do we postpone these exams? One recent study came up wherein Chris Whitty, who is the Chief Medical Officer of England, has said for a stable vaccine to come in, it could be 2021 winter. That means COVID could go away by 2022 or maybe late 2021. So do we delay the exams till then and lose 2 academic years? And if we do so, then in 2021 2 batches will have to give exams together, or worst case in 2022 3 batches of students will fight for just 1 year seats. Is this fair on the students? Can we predict till when we will have confidence that yes, now it is safe? Or rather, should we focus on the infrastructure and the protocols of the government and pull through the exams? With this, I would end this episode and let you think on it, if the benefits outweigh the costs and should we have the exams or not. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Good night. Namaste.